Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today we are jumping into week 4, I think, week 4 with Scott and his family. And before we start off, please know that I did do this, did this week's recording with them in 2 parts. Now, normally I never do that. Once I start, I don't stop the recording until I finish. However, this time I was like, you know what? I'm really tired. I'm going to stop it and then I'm going to pick it up again later, except for some reason, when I did the second part of the recording, I lost it. So, we only have the first part. Now it is, like, half of the week, okay? So you're gonna get some stuff, but not the big stuff, which is kinda disappointing. So, of course, naturally, when I did recordings afterward, I had to check, like, 6 or 7 times to make sure that it was still recording, you guys, because I went into, like, hyper vigilant mode, okay? Now, I know last time I spoke about once the kids turn into teenagers or, like, age up to teenagers, we were gonna go in and revamp their clothes and stuff because generally teenagers, when they age up to adults, they keep their clothes. So, here we are doing Erica and Devon's wardrobe. Now, Devon had the, like, classic NPC accessory makeup, everything situation going on, and Erica just needed a little bit of character added to her. Like, because, what you wear is your character. Like, I wear leggings all black, like, everything just I'm all about comfort. Um, I am learning to love color, but just not that much. Anyway, so here we are. It is Sunday, and we are still living in the little trailer home here, but we did start the shell of their house right next to them, which is gonna be so amazing, because, they could use the space and everything is so bland here. Like, it was just a quick fix for them, right? So, yeah, let's jump dive in. Now, I realized that I overspent when I did the shell of the house, and he requires, like, $300 to do random jewelry, and I know some of you are gonna tell me, like, "Oh my god, it would be much cheaper if you just chose all your things." Sure it would. Okay, I know that. It's also much easier and less time consuming if I just pay the extra money. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So we are gonna sell all the plates and everybody's inventory that we've been hoarding, and we are then going to use that money to design random jewelry. Right, so it is Sunday, so the kids are just gonna be, like, moping about, essentially, like, do some homework, eat. I mean, what do you guys do on a Sunday, right? Like, I'm sure some people will say, like, "I go do my shopping, and I go do my whatever," and that's cool. Like, that's totally cool. Here in game, there's so many kids, like, I don't know. I think it'll be much easier once they're in the house. Okay, that's my thought. That's my hope. Now, I know I talked about, like, how autonomy works and stuff like that, and so I have mine turned off, and I do that because routine is so important when you have a lot of Sims. For example, if they did everything like auto command or whatever you call that, like, it's just the autonomy is, like, on, right? So they'll decide what they do, like, they could jog all day, but then or, they'll jog for 3 hours and then they're exhausted, so at 4 PM, they're going to sleep for the night. And then, they're up at 2 AM, and then they're tired, but then the school bus is coming around. Well, not the school bus, obviously. We don't have those in The Sims 4, but, it's time to go to school and stuff like that, and so it really I don't know. I don't like it. I would rather put in the work and have everybody at my beck and call than have them do whatever they want and not know what's actually going on with them. Now, I will tell you in regards to the second part, I'm so sad. So many things happened, but what I did was I went and took in screenshots of once I was done, I went back into the game and took screenshots of what everything looked like, I guess, and some things that had happened and things that had changed, and so we're gonna do, like, a quick once over at the end, and then you'll really get to see it the next time that we see Scott and family because you best believe that, like, the minute I touch the computer to do another recording, I then check it 6 or 7 times throughout the recording, just like, "Is it still there? Is it still working?" It was so devastating when I realized that I didn't have it, and, like, these people, they're awesome. And by people, I mean Sims, obviously, like, are awesome, and, like, we obviously have birthdays too that happen this week. The twins, Frankie and Lance age up, which is so wild, okay? It is so wild that they age up, but yeah, it's so interesting to see them all, like, come into character. Because I mean, Frankie and Lance, we've had them since they were, toddlers, right? Ew, that was gross. Being a picky eater. Wait, is that a teen trait? Picky eater? What? Childhood phase? Come on. So, on a side note, as we age these Sims up, I'm thinking about how it's all gonna play out because now we've got 2 teenagers, we've got 2 more coming. They're not all gonna live with Scott forever, and so I'm trying to figure out what the rest of their life is going to look like, I guess, so to speak. So Erica, has, like, the fitness aspiration, so she gonna be, like, a little bit of a gym rat, but, like, not really, because she is hot-headed. She is hot-headed, so she has that going for her at least, but, yeah, I mean, then we've got Devin, and he wants to be, like, a tech guru. He wants to be in the tech guru business, so he's gonna be, like, playing video games and programming just like, one of our member save files, we have Forrest and Colin, and Forrest is also into video games and programming and all of that fun stuff, and so I'm just like, I play and I'm trying to figure out where they're headed in their life, and, I wanna know if you guys wanna follow along with them, I wanna know if you want me to add them to the rotation, or if you would prefer to just have them out in the open world, just living their life, doing their thing. Um, I kinda think I wanna play some of them, maybe not all of them, but who knows, right? Maybe yeah, I don't know. I think it'll depend. It'll depend on, like, I don't know, maybe I should just roll a dice. Maybe I should just roll a dice, okay? But, Frankie and Lance are best friends with Alana, and I think that's really sweet. So I would like to see where that goes, like, are they gonna be friends? Are they gonna be, more than friends? Is she gonna have to pick a brother? Is this gonna be like a love triangle between the twins and Alana? I don't know. I think that there's a lot of storyline that we could pull from that. And so, Devin is wants to do something that's already being done. So maybe we don't follow him throughout his life, or maybe we do because he's one of Scott's kids, right? And again, I mean, I want to know what you guys think. Fiore, hello. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know if I pronounced some of the names right, so you guys need to like correct me. Like Neon, okay? Kaori. Some of them I'm like, I'm guessing. All right, I'm guessing, and if I'm wrong, please let me know. I believe in constructive criticism. Okay? But yeah, I mean, I am thinking about where they're gonna go in life and what they're gonna do after they leave this household, because they're not gonna stay here forever. I do suspect that one child may stay and then the rest would leave, kinda take over. take over Scott's business. And so, yeah, we'll see, right? Like, we'll see depending on what people's interests are. Okay. So this girl has showed up. So she's a child of the islands, adventurous, and like she likes comedy. Okay, I'm gonna give her another go. 'Cause she's so cute. And I believe she comes with the Snowy Escape Pack, if I'm not mistaken, which is why she looks like she's dressed for the Arctic, even though there's no snow. Right, so it is the end of Sunday, we are gonna get the kids to bed because routine, and school in the morning, and everybody's going. Nobody misses school here, let me tell ya. Playing the Apocalypse Challenge and playing the Forever Safe File. I know I say it every time, but it's because you guys sometimes feel like we take the little things for granted, like showers, being able to cloud gaze, a vacuum. Definitely a vacuum. Right, so we are, like, making headway with her, we're really good friends. We're gonna give her residence keys. Now, I remember talking about this, and I can't remember which family it was with, but it might have been with Jocelyn and Brandt. So what's happening is the Sims that are a part of the Forever Save file that we've created and we have in the rotation, they do not age unless we play them, okay? However, everybody else in the world, so your Goths, your Pancakes, your, Jay Huntington the thirds, all right, they are aging every single time we come in and play. So they are aging tenfold compared to these Sims that we're playing. Um, what does that mean? Well, it means that when Jocelyn first met Brant, he might have only been halfway through his adult life, but when we last played her, he was an elder and he was halfway through his elder life. So, I think we also have to be mindful of that. So, like, for example, Kaori right now, she is an adult. So she is going to be our love interest. She needs to move in within this week, or we're going to lose her to you know, the sands of time, essentially. So we will try to work it out this week and see if that's something that interests her and go from there. But if it is, and we would, the flirting is flirting and all those other things, we will have to move her in. Otherwise, she's gonna age up quite a few times before we get back to her. You guys, it's 8 a.m., just go to school. Okay, bye. Enjoy yourselves today. Woo, that's a lot of money for the bills. It is because we have the shell of the new home. We have this, trailer home going on here, and we have the business. So the bills are quite high. We're also living on quite a large lot. It's not one of the most expensive lots in Willow Creek, but it is quite large. Oh my goodness. Look at all these pop-ups. All right, so he is feeling good. We are going over to the business and holy moly, university. You know what? I never even thought of that. Maybe we can send some of our kids to university. Maybe we can send Frankie, Lance, and Alana to university together in one little household, and that could make up a household. That'd be so cute. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what brings when it's all said and done and the time comes. The only thing I don't like about university, and I know that, like, a lot has been adjusted since then, but if you don't have the brightest sim of the bunch and they don't graduate early from high school, they can't start university early, which means they then have to spend their entire young adult life in university. Wish there was a way to say, like, "Hey, I wanna take extra credits this semester," or, you know, like, I wish there was just a way to do that. I mean, I know obviously the system is made up to be, like, rotational and having just enough time to do everything that you need to do, but I don't know. It you would have to be a really, really smart sim in order to finish, high school early because listen, let me tell you, I have had sims that I was like, "Yes, we are gonna make sure that this sim is on top of their game, they're gonna be the top of their year." They were, A plus student for however many days, and still it took a while for that to become available on the computer and, you know, even to get that phone call if I wasn't, paying attention on the computer, it still took a while for it to happen, and then, of course, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 days before you actually get a response from the university to see if you made it. Like, it's a long process that you almost have to start, like, now. You almost have to start the process, like, right now, so that just in case they finish high school early, they're ready to go immediately. Lance, sorry for your loss? What? What do you mean? He's just a baby. Okay, so all the kids are filthy and home from school is just like the apocalypse challenge, guys. Actually, this is guys, okay, it's not like the apocalypse challenge. The apocalypse challenge is, what's the word I'm looking for? Borderline completely unhinged at this point, I think is where we're at. Mourning from losing a friend. Okay, who? Why does he have elder friends? Leah. She comes from Sulani. How did he make friends with her? Maybe through the business. Oh, that could be. It very well could be. We're just gonna drag and drop. I was going to try to, like, change the modifier and make it 100% because I know they're already complaining about the prices, but guess what? They're buying it anyway. So why not make some more money? Because, like, I want to make more money so that we can get them into this house, right? Like, that's the goal here. Sir, I'm gonna need you to continue on what you're doing. I like the gemology skill, like, I'm learning to like it, but at the same time, I'm also feeling like it's, like, tedious, very time consuming, I should say, for a very small product that you could fit, like, one too many of on the stands here, so I think eventually I will again remove some more tables and just focus on filling the tables that are there. It's hard to explain what I mean, but it's not this big item that we're gonna go and it's gonna fill the space, like, uh, "Excuse me, why do you leave your plate there?" "Well, alright then, I guess." Like, I don't even know. Yeah, I do like it. Do I think it's built for someone that has, 5 young children growing up in the house and someone who doesn't have a lot of time on their hands? Not so much. It's more of, like, a very extremely expensive hobby. Not that I and, like, that's not to say that he's not making money when he opens the shop, but he requires a lot of money to open, right? Where's she going? Please don't leave. Wait a minute. Oh. Oh, game changer. And now some of you might be asking, "Sam, why are you doing that?" They don't have a romance relationship. Sweetie, they will. They will. And if they don't, she'll move out and we'll keep the money. Come on, guys. But she does move in with 83,000 simoleons. And do you know what that means? That means we are going to be furnishing that house and we are going to be finishing it. Looks like we're getting out of the trailer home after all, guys. All right, now, see, she is only like 6 or 7 days from aging up into an elder, and we need to avoid that. I mean, listen, we've been after her for a few weeks now. We've been after her for a few weeks now. We want her to last just a little bit longer than Brant does, okay? So we're just looking for the potion of youth, which does not bring her back to a young adult, okay? The potion of youth is going to like reset the current age that she's at. So she is an adult. She will go from being 2 days or 3 days away from being an elder right all the way back to the beginning of her adult days. So it will at least give her her adult lifespan, which is, I think, 30 or 40 sim days now. Like, I know that that's changed recently. Like, before it was only 20 something, right? 20 something for youth, and then 20 something for adults. And then everything got revamped when we got the infants. It's like they knew we needed an extra long life to deal with them or something like that. Anyway, okay. All right, so we are gonna have her drink the potion of youth before we do anything else because I don't wanna forget about it. Oh, look at it. It's, like, glowing. Cool. Right now, she does not have a place to sleep, so we are gonna plop her on the couch probably when the time comes. Sorry, not even sorry, little girl. Now, the good news is that even though she's an adult, like, if they ever decide to have children, of course, for some reason, Sims don't age when they're pregnant, like, it's some kinda magic trick. But yeah, so she'll save a few days here and there if she has children. Now we know Scott would like to have one more. Um, I didn't really check on what she wants. We'll figure that out later. We'll figure that out later, like, once we're moved into the house and, everybody is situated and we see how much money we have left and what we're doing with our life, essentially, so but for now, we are gonna work on that flirting, guys, that we talked about 3 seconds ago. We're gonna see if this is gonna work. Now, remember initially I thought, like, I think she's attracted to him because of those little, like, bubbles that kept popping up above her head, and then it didn't really work. She didn't really wanna flirt with him, and it's hard to tell. Like, I find, um, sometimes, like, they're just not attracted to each other, they're not good compatibility, it doesn't work. But sometimes even when they are all those things and they check all the right boxes and they are, like, super compatible, if that sim has any kind of discomfort or they're sad or whatever, there's something going on, it will equally give the same response as if they were not interested in each other. So that's why I often go back and try again. Like, 2 or 3 times I'll give someone, like, one of the sims a try. And that's why. It's because you don't actually know, especially if it says good compatibility. If it says that, then, I'll make more of an effort with them. But it's starting to get really difficult to decipher what's what. Now, obviously, here they are compatible. So it is going really well now that we have her in the house and that we know that their needs are all met. It's going extremely well. So now they are romantic partners. Yes. Okay. If they were not compatible, and she was not interested in him, um, it wouldn't it wouldn't matter, like, she would either turn him away or, she would be like, "No, thank you. Get away from me." Okay? But she didn't do that, but yeah, so we are woohooing in the one spot that they can in the house, and that is the shower. It is the shower. That is the only place that they can woohoo at this time, and that's okay, like, whatever. Right, so we are gonna get her some food, and, she's gonna have a bite, I guess. I think we'll probably have to go and change her, like we're gonna have to go change her clothes because she seems to only be living in her skidoo suit. I don't know what you guys call it, like her winter getup, but here where I come from in Canada in the Maritimes, this is a skidoo suit, okay? It's like yeah, it's like winter apparel, it's like a winter onesie, a skidoo suit, okay? It's something that you wear to skidoo. And as I say it, I know it sounds funny, I can hear it, guys, but what do you guys call them? Is that also what you guys call them? Or, like, I'm sure there's other words for them, and I'm just drawing a blank, but that's what we call them. Right, everybody's in bed. We do have Kaori sleeping on the couch. Hopefully, that will give her enough to hold her over for the next day, and, hopefully by the end of this day, we will have finished the house and we can move them over there stat. Okay. Oh my goodness, Lance, are you still crying about that little old lady? What a sin. Did you just talk to her, like, one time, and then all of a sudden she's your BFF? Everybody's getting ready for school. There are certain times in the game that just bring me joy, and it's when it's time to make a birthday cake for a birthday, not the actual birthday cake, okay? We know I struggle with those, alright? If you guys have been watching Patrick and Simone in the member files, okay, you know that I don't actually enjoy making the birthday cakes and trying to put candles on them, okay? But like, birth time for a birthday, time for school, time for work, especially in a really busy house, those things really, like, make me happy, okay? I know that's so silly, but I also need to learn how to better control and routine a house with a lot of Sims because I often find myself feeling super overwhelmed when there is a massive house of Sims I need to control and I'm trying to age them up and um I want them to be living their best lives, but they're oh, I want them to be living their best life. I want them to be gaining their skills and doing all the awesome things, but it's hard sometimes when you have a lot of Sims because it's very time consuming, you're moving from 1 to 2 to 4 to 3 to 6, okay, trying to make sure that everybody's happy and well fed and everything else going on. Okay, so I am hoping to learn how to micromanage the household as I go, which will in turn help me with my feelings of I need to get out of here now. Okay. Now we are going in and we are going to finish this house. Now, we had already done the shell and I was pretty content with it. And I'm not sure on the windows, I'm not sure on the exterior, but for now, we are going to just give it some life and see where that leads us. If I wanna change the exterior later or I don't like the flooring I end up choosing, like, buddy, best believe I'll just go change it. It's pretty simple to me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not simple for others, but for me, that is very simple. So it does look very, like, woodsy and, like, rustic, but so is his, shop. Like, his shop is using that same green businesses and hobbies, like, plank style, okay, and that is probably my favorite color, okay? Obviously, I love the, like, wood colors and stuff like that, but this is my favorite of the greens. This is it for me. Like, they did really well on that. The color, the concentration of it, even though it's dark, it's, like, super green, and so I love that. Now here I'm getting ready to do their backyard. I do want a pool in here. Do we have the funds to do that now? Probably not, but I'm just gonna go and add, like, a little bit of life to it. And now I'm lighting everything up, guys, and I use the super subtle saucer because that is the only way to go. Alright? I'm trying to like, normally, I have really light floors, and I'm trying to do something a little bit different this time. Like, I really love this floor, and so I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna make it work. Sometimes it'd be like that, okay? And I've never used this, wallpaper before, but it does come with the Gemology pack, and so you know what I thought? It belongs with him, it belongs with Scott, so we need to use it somewhere. There's a lot of 2 and 3-toned rooms going on here, like 3, 2. Yeah, some rooms have 3 on the walls, okay? So, I'm always following up with usually, like, a paneling somewhere. Alright, the kids are getting, like, an accent wall. I'm painting them all completely, and, like, some of these are gonna change, alright? These are just, like, placeholders for now so that I can have an idea of what exactly I'm looking for the rooms for the kids, but, yeah, so here, this is the office. Could it have been an extra room and I could have spread out the kids a bit more? Sure, but to be honest, the kids only really use the rooms to sleep in my kinda gameplay. They don't spend their life in their rooms, so maybe if I was, hyper focused on making sure that they were learning their skills and being antisocial, maybe I would be more concerned with that. And so I think this is the way that I'm going to make my floors work that I wanted. These come with the life and death pack. This kitchen, you guys, I surprisingly love this kitchen, and I struggle with some of the browns in the game, and I struggle with patterns, but this kitchen is stunning. It is, like, warm and, um, I don't know, it's just beautiful. It is simply beautiful. Look at this. And maybe you guys don't like it. Like, maybe it's not your style. It's not really my style either, to be honest, but I do love it. Right. So we are gonna go in and add a couple of little, appliances, adding a little drink tray here, but I don't really have one that really fits their, like, get up, so I'm putting one of the new ones from Businesses and Hobbies. And I have to have a chalkboard, guys. I talked about that. Alright, so really quickly, all the stuff that we missed, Kiori and Scott had a baby. Uh, Frankie and Lance aged up. You guys, teenagers now. Alright? And these are some of the pictures of what it looks like now. So this is the outside. There we were able to put a little bit of a pool. We transformed the trailer into a garage. So this is what the living room looks like inside. And this is the office. And here's Lance in his PJs looking at his father with his new sibling. And here is the final kitchen, which we just saw. This is the dining room setup. Don't mind the dirty plates, guys. We were already, like, through the gameplay, right? Here is Erica and Blakely's bedroom. It's very small, but it's very cute, I find. This is Devin's bedroom. Now we set him up with a computer, and he's been working on his gaming and his programming. This is for the twins. It's very basic. They were still children when they moved in. We need to revamp that for them. And this is the master bedroom. It's very small, but it does the job. And here's the house. So until next time. See ya.